Thanks so much for joining us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Lim Nakron. I want to share with you some of the top stories that we're following right now, starting with this scene in Henry County. Let me go ahead and show you some of the video of this scene. And so, as you can see, there was a very heavy police presence actually swarming a hotel for hours. That hotel is in McDonough, right along State Route 155, actually at the Quality Inn and Suites. And people there say they heard a lot of commotion outside. Again, this was a massive scene, massive police presence for hours overnight. And a hotel employee who doesn't want to be identified actually told Atlanta News First he heard multiple gunshots outside the hotel starting around 11:35 last night. We are working to get more information on what exactly happened here, why there was such a massive response. My colleague Asia Wilson has more.
Terrifying moments for people here at the Quality Inn and Suites. I spoke with an employee who says he heard the gunshots and also saw a man lying on the ground in this spot in the entryway of their parking lot. That employee, who doesn't want to speak on camera, says around 11:35 on Sunday night, he heard at least a dozen gunshots and immediately took cover behind the front desk. He says once he did not hear those shots anymore, that's when he peeked over the counter and saw a guy lying on the ground. That staff person says on their surveillance cameras, after the fact, he saw two guys in what appeared to be a bright-colored car shoot that man and then pull off. Henry County Police were here all morning looking at evidence markers and going in and out of the hotel. While the scene has since cleared, questions still remain. Now, we've been asking police exactly what happened, the details surrounding this particular case, and we're still waiting on a response. In Henry County, Asia Wilson, Atlanta News First.
And like Asia says, our news team has been working with authorities trying to get more information on exactly what happened there. We're going to update you as soon as we learn more, and we are working to find out why there was such a massive response there. Okay, I want to talk to you a little bit about something very unpleasant. E. coli in a very popular river, the Chattahoochee River. So there's a warning for, this river, which obviously is so popular among boaters, swimmers. I mean, it's getting warmer this time of year, so this is the time to be out and about. But officials are saying that they have been monitoring the river and they have discovered some dangerous levels of E. coli. They're still trying to pinpoint the exact source, but there is some suspicion, maybe some possible leads as to where it's coming from. My colleague Bridget Spencer has more on this story.
E. coli being detected in the Chattahoochee River may sound like deja vu for people who frequent the river.
This issue with the R.M. Clayton Reclamation Facility and the one we had with Fulton County's Big Creek Wastewater Treatment Facility have been some of the biggest sewer mishaps that we've seen over the last 20 years.
Jason Alseth is with Chattahoochee Riverkeeper. Their organization monitors more than 200 locations up and downstream. They recently detected high levels of E. coli downstream from the R.M. Clayton Treatment Facility.
Our latest data indicates that it's 340 times higher than what the safe level is. The R.M. Clayton Wastewater Treatment Facility is failing and is not adequately treating the sewage that's going into the Chattahoochee River.
Atlanta's Watershed Management Department says there were some mechanical mishaps at the plant. E. coli can make you pretty sick, causing vomiting, stomach cramps, and sometimes it can get serious. Alseth advises people to stay out of the water downstream in Atlanta, at least for now.
Well, that would definitely be a concern because, the children, they love to go down by the riverbank down there.
Andre Don took his children to the park upstream. He hopes the issue will be resolved by summer so he can have the ability to take his family anywhere along the Chattahoochee River.
We would love to see something being done about it because June, July, August is right around the corner, right? And we would love to be able to enjoy ourselves as a family.
Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
All right, thanks so much to Bridget for that report. Just a warning there if you plan on or would like to be out and about along the Chattahoochee River. All right, let's talk about the latest on the resignation, right, of Mr. Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor on the Trump investigation. Just kind of backing things up. If you missed it, the big breaking news that we learned on Friday was breaking news upon breaking news. The judge overseeing the prosecution of the former president, Donald Trump, right here in Fulton County, came down with a decision, which was was that Ms. Fani Willis could remain on the case if Mr. Wade, special prosecutor, would resign. So ultimately, or would be removed from the case. Ultimately, late Friday afternoon, we got that resignation. We obtained that resignation letter from Mr. Wade, and then Ms. Willis accepted it, and so that means that she actually gets to stay on the case. So my colleague Asia Wilson takes a look at what happens next.
I think this gave both sides a partial victory.
John Acevedo, law professor at Emory University, is responding to Judge Scott McAfee's Friday ruling that either Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis must step down from the 2020 election interference case, or Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor who was also her romantic partner, must step aside. Ultimately, Wade resigned that same day.
Neither side's happy, and in that sense, I think it split the difference quite down the middle. More importantly, it ended it as an issue going forward.
This all comes after the two testified in a weeks-long disqualification hearing.
Our relationship wasn't a secret. It was just private.
It is a lie. It is a lie.
Brought on by former Trump White House aide Michael Roman, alleging Willis crossed ethical boundaries during her romantic relationship with Wade and misused taxpayer funds.
Social media platform?
No, I haven't yet.
Acevedo believes the defense could file some appeals this week.
Whether or not that appeal is accepted by the Court of Appeals is another question, but it seems like it's a low-cost, high-reward potential strategy for them to engage in. So this might be something to see by Friday. If they do 10 business days, it'll be early next week, but it's likely to happen this week.
And for Willis,
for her own appeal, I doubt she'll do it. Wade has already stepped aside. I'd actually be surprised if we don't see a new special counsel announced by the end of this week. I think she'll either promote someone within her existing team or name a new person as quickly as possible just to get the case back on track and the focus back on these defendants.
In Fulton County, Asia Wilson, Atlanta News First.
All right, thanks so much to Asia for that report. Also want to take a moment and talk about what's happening in Washington right now. My colleague, his name is Ryan Henson, he's a Washington correspondent, is just explaining that we are on the lookout for another potential government shutdown. As always, there's kind of a showdown concerning the budget. So let's get the latest out of Washington.
The House and Senate returned to town Tuesday with the shutdown looming. Friday at midnight is yet another deadline for Congress to pass a budget to avoid a partial government shutdown. 6 different sectors of the government need funding passed, including the Departments of Defense, Education, and Homeland Security. The other 6 sectors of the government are funded through the end of September. Also on Congress's agenda this week, on Tuesday, the House has a hearing on the controversial 2021 withdrawal from Afghanistan. Thursday, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen testifies about the White House's proposed 2025 fiscal year budget. President Joe Biden is on the road this week in the Southwest, starting with stops in Nevada, then Arizona, before wrapping up in Dallas. And the Supreme Court hears 2 major First Amendment cases this week about COVID misinformation and politically controversial groups. And that's your look ahead from Washington. I'm Ryan Henson.
All right, thanks so much to Ryan Henson for that report. Okay, so now we have this First Alert graphic popped up with First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi explaining what this means. I see First Alert for a weather day and I'm nervous.
Yeah, right. No need to be nervous, but this is what, the 3rd Friday in a row where we've had a First Alert weather day for rain. Oh. Yeah, weather systems seem to be liking Friday lately, but that's all right. We'll get through it, and there's some good news because on the other side of this, the weekend actually will look great. So plenty to cover here. Just stay with me because not only that, but we also have quite the cold trend in our forecast just in time for winter to end and spring to begin. As you can see, we do have a freeze warning that will go into effect tonight starting at midnight and continue through tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So some very cold weather is on the way. In fact, it is moving in as we speak. But the graphic you're looking at, that's our First Alert weather day that's on the way for Friday as scattered showers return. And not only is it going to be showery, it's going to be a cold rain. The timing and the coverage still needs some work, but the good news is of all of it, severe weather is not looking likely with that particular system. All right, everyone, so here it is, spring, just one day away. The spring equinox starts tomorrow. Our days will then get longer after that as we head into the summer solstice, but it is not going to feel like spring Not really today and definitely not tomorrow. Highs today, 60 for the city of Atlanta. You'll see increasing sunshine through the day. So while we're starting partly cloudy to mostly cloudy, we'll end up mostly sunny by the afternoon hours with temperatures for most of us only topping out in the mid-50s. Now you pair that with the breeze. It is going to get quite windy this afternoon. It is going to feel colder, so that'll add to the chill factor in the air today. Notice gusts afternoon will be upwards of 20 to 25, and then for your evening tonight, we're looking at 30 to 35 mile per hour gusts. So as you're headed home from work, as you're sitting down for dinner tonight, you're probably going to hear that wind whistling outside your window. That could, of course, shake up your car a little bit as you're driving on the interstate tonight. So just something to keep in mind as you are thinking of your evening tonight. Now, a freeze warning. As you can see on the banner underneath me, that goes into effect tonight at midnight, continues through 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Naturally, that means that freezing temperatures are on the way. You'll also notice that the mountains not included in this freeze warning. That's because their growing season just hasn't started yet, because climatologically, they don't get their last freeze until about mid-April, so most of the time you're not going to see anyone growing anything up there. All of our wonderful vineyard owners probably not getting the grapes ready to go for all the wine up there just yet. But across North Georgia, our farmers, our agriculture department, probably already getting things in the ground and going. So if you personally have your own little garden going, you might want to layer that with a light blanket, a towel, a burlap sack, anything like that overnight, just to keep everything nice and toasty, because that cold could definitely damage them. Here's a look at the temperatures we'll wake up to tomorrow morning. We're talking upper 20s to low 30s, very cold morning tomorrow. So just be sure that you have the coat handy. Not only that, but there'll still be at least some breeze lingering into tomorrow morning, so it's going to feel more like the low 20s tomorrow morning. You'll need the coat. The kids will definitely need the coat at the bus stop, maybe a hat to keep themselves extra warm. You'll want to give yourself maybe a couple minutes to heat up your car early tomorrow morning as well, giving you that heads up. Now tomorrow, first day of spring, temperatures will rebound pretty nicely. We'll see a lot of sunshine from start to finish tomorrow. We'll be near 40 degrees by 10 o'clock, so temperatures stay in the 30s through about 9, and then we'll go into the mid-50s tomorrow afternoon. So tomorrow afternoon will actually be pretty comfortable, below average, but not necessarily frigid. So, and with the sunshine, hopefully the mid-50s will feel a little nicer. But spring starting, feeling a little more like winter. So winter really just wants to give us one last kick. Taking you into midweek, temperatures rebound nicely. We'll go back near 70 on Wednesday. So I've been calling this week a little bit of weather whiplash, because you're going to go from very cold to some pretty warm days, and then the rain kind of sprinkled in between. Now, as we head into Thursday, clouds are going to start to increase. That's what you're going to notice on Thursday. We should stay dry again. Temperatures near 70 degrees, so pretty comfortable. Friday's that first alert weather day with rain returning. We'll have a couple of weather systems to work with here. So we'll have a low that's going to move in from the Gulf, and it's going to work in tandem with the cold front. Those two things working together are going to bring us a widespread rain chance. That low is going to help promote Gulf moisture into the southeast. That front's going to help lift it all up. So ultimately, that's going to bring us a pretty showery day on Friday. And with that cold front, naturally colder air is going to start to spill in. So highs only in the 50s on Friday with that rain. Good news is, though, take a look at this. Friday at 11 o'clock, that system is moving off the coast, and we will welcome in a nice-looking weekend. And I'll show you that with our first 7-day forecast here. We have, again, the cool and breezy day today. Highs around our suburbs, mainly in the 50s, near 60 for us here in metro or downtown Atlanta, I should say. Waking up freezing tomorrow. A lot of us in the upper 20s to low 30s. Highs only in the upper 50s tomorrow afternoon. And then we rebound back into the 70s on Wednesday. Wednesday morning still cold in the 30s. And then our first alert weather day Friday for that scattered shower chance. Models have been struggling a little bit with how much rain we're going to see. But right now it looks like it's going to be a pretty wet day, potentially starting Friday morning. That could impact your morning commute. And then continuing through the day with highs again only in the mid-50s. Saturday and Sunday, upper 60s to near 70s. So a really mild day. It'll stay breezy on Saturday, but the weekend overall looks great after that cool and rainy day on Friday. We'll keep you posted on the forecast, the First Alert Weather app, so be sure to download that. If any changes occur throughout the week, we will let you know. But get ready to welcome in spring tomorrow, everyone. I know I'm excited. Eventually, the weather will turn warmer and stay there, right? Winter wants to hold on just a little too long this week, but that's all right. We'll let it do it. Enjoy your day today, everyone. And thank you so much, as always, for tuning in on Atlanta News First Plus for your news and weather, and we'll catch you here next time.